Hey, welcome here again. It's whirligig time. I'm going to show you one of my earlier whirligigs. This is Woody Woodpecker. Done, I suppose it may be my fourth or fifth whirligig I made. As you can see, we're beginning to go down that way of making common bases and common propellers. The base here, as you can see, it is, but it's quite a thin one. After I made this one, I went away to a larger base, yeah, a one that was slightly wider, which gave me a better movement. And also the figure was made out of a solid piece of wood, which is quite heavy. What I found later on, it's far better to make things as light as possible so the wind affects it. And also the bit on the bottom, making it so it's adjustable, so it can go up and down, so you can get the balance right. But this one did work. It had a few minor problems, mainly that when I designed the actual woodpecker, I didn't get the centre of gravity quite right, so he tends to weigh on one side, which makes it sometimes a bit heavy for the propeller to operate. And the other thing that I got slightly wrong with it is this point here, because it's in further than that. You can see that the wire keeps catching on the tail. I should have made it lower down, but we rectified that on the later ones. As you can see when it rotates round, how that the wire catches. Can you see catches? There it goes. Just catches the tail. So that was a bit of a bit of a problem. And also on the original one here, I made the base bit out of a branch, and of course what happens when it gets wet, it swells. So of course what happens then is that because it swells, it makes that a bit stiff, and the woodpecker's not freely balanced. So there was a few minor things in there. So what I tend to do now is make sure that I've got a big enough gap here, even if it does wobble to and fro. But no, this one, I've kept this one. This used to be on my in the old house we had, used to be on the gate outside, and people used to quite like. He was quite good. As you can see, the paint stayed on. I always use gloss paint. What I tend to do is actually dip them. I've got a sort of an undercoat mixture that I've watered slightly down, and what I just tend to do is dip them into a bucket full of paint, and then just let it drip it 2 or 3 times, so the paint really does into the wood, does seep into the wood, and before I actually put the top coat on. But there he is. That's Woody the Woodpecker, one of my early ones. Not the best, but you learn, don't you, as you make them. Anyway, I'm going to try and find. I've got one. The actual very. No, I think the first one I made is at my daughter's house. But the second one I've made, I think I still got him up in a box somewhere. I'll see if I can find him, and I'll show you him, and you'll just see how we've progressed along. Anyway, that's Woody Woodpecker, and gives you some ideas, of different ideas, and how to correct things. As you can see on the block here, I'm using 3 bolts, but that's the same way of putting a thing in. I've cut that down to 1, so that frees very easily. But as I say, because this has swelled up in here, this is a bit tight because of the. So it does, but no, it's still a nice whirligig, isn't it? Anyway, this is Mr. Whirligig signing off, just to show you that they're not all perfect. We live and learn, don't we? So hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to tick and subscribe and do whatever you have to do, and most of all, be kind to the animals, won't you? Anyway, thanks a lot. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. If you'd like to support my channel, you can do so by obviously sharing and liking and subscribing to the channel. But even more, I'd appreciate it more if you'd love to buy me a cup of tea so I can dunk my biscuits into. Would be greatly appreciated. Follow the link in the description. Thank you.